That's pretty cool.
Hello, beautiful humans.
Welcome back to our channel. My name is Frankie.
And I am Riley, and we are the Theme Park Damsels.
We have a very exciting video for you today. About a month ago, I got off of an amazing trip on the Disney Wonder to Alaska for a week-long cruise. Riley and I are going to sit and watch and react live with each other.
So I'm really excited to get into your adventure.
Yeah, what are we waiting for?
I don't know. Let's get going. We're gonna hit play. Let's do it.
Hit play. Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Frankie. I'm the Michigan-based half of the Theme Park Damsels. We are on a very special adventure this week. We are not in Florida. We are not in California. We're not in Michigan either. Where are we? We are in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. If you can see behind me, what we might be getting up to this week, we're going, my family and I, my stepsister and my stepmom, are going on a week-long Disney cruise on the Disney Wonder to Alaska. So we are going to be spending a week on the Wonder. We got some excursions, we got some dining reservations. We're going to see what we can get into on the ship. And then after the week's over, Riley's going to kind of watch what I did, react to it, and then we'll come together and chat about it. I'm so excited to take you all along with us and see what we get into, see what kind of adventures we do. I have 3, maybe 4 things that are like my goals for the week. 1, I want to see an orca. May and June is orca season in Alaska, and we are here in May. And then 2, I do want to win a round of trivia on the cruise because you get a really cool medal. 3, I want to meet Mickey, Minnie, the Fab Five in their Alaska exclusive gear. And then 4, I just want to see some really cool stuff, I think, if that even counts, but I think we'll do that anyway. So excited to bring you guys along and see what we get into. What are we waiting for? We got to get on the ship. We got to go. Let's go.
Amazing goals.
Right?
I love your goals.
Very, very low bar, very just things, and maybe we'll find out.
So not necessarily low bar, because
Right.
just because it is the season for the animal does not mean
Correct.
that you're going to see said animal.
Correct.
So kind of high bar for the
Yeah.
orcas.
Yep.
I think low bar is characters.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
of course.
But they are in their really cute Alaska outfits.
I know. I'm so excited for that. I can't wait. Great goals. Very
Thank you.
excited.
Thank
Very
you.
excited for the week.
Disney won the theme of the Will the Adriana Gulf family.
That's us! In my head, I've watched so many cruise videos of people getting announced.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like waiting. I'm like, this is gonna be the moment. I'm gonna cry. Like I'm tearing up thinking about it. And then it happened all so fast.
So quickly.
And then
yeah.
they're getting through so many families. It was like, oh, it's done. It's done. And then you're on the ship and you're like, where do we
I'm
go?
supposed to go to my room now?
Yeah, right? Not the climactic welcome I was hoping for, but it is cool. They do introduce every family. Sophia's gonna try the beignets.
Don't exhale or inhale, or it'll be not very good. Be very messy. It's good. I would say it's a little bland, but it's pretty good. Out of 5, I'd give it a 3. Did you try just the chocolate sauce? I did not. Let me do that. I'm not a fan. Worse with the chocolate. Yeah, but pretty good. I would say the ones at Disneyland we had them, those were better.
Okay.
But these are still pretty good. Okay. I enjoyed.
Thank you for your review.
Had she only ever had Disneyland Mickey beignets?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I
Never-
don't think she would have. She's never been anywhere else to have anything to compare.
Okay.
But yeah.
So that was her bar.
Yeah.
Which those who've never had them, that sets a pretty high bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Disneyland are better than the Disney World.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
Did you have the beignets?
No, I couldn't. That's
Oh,
why
that's
I filmed her.
right.
That's why I filmed her. I think my
I
stepmom.
just assumed because they do them at Disney World, they would have them
No,
on the
they
cruise
didn't.
too.
They didn't. No, they were an extra charge.
Bummer.
Yeah, they were an extra charge, but I think they were like $2 or something.
Yeah, it's just dough.
Yeah, it's just fried dough. They looked like a bun though, like a dinner roll almost with powdered sugar. So I don't know. It's cool they have them. It's like that whole lounge is like Dr. Facilier, like French Quarter themed.
Do you remember what any of the other small bites were?
Nope, it was just the beignets.
Just the beignets.
And I think they had like a snack mix, like nuts and stuff but I think that was included. They would just bring you if you requested it. But best espresso martini I had on the ship was there.
Oh.
That's where that was. It's not in there, but it was really good. Incredible.
That's a good thing to know.
Yeah. We have a day one check-in here. Things have escalated. We are on the high seas out of Vancouver. A lot of things happened. We didn't really get a chance to just like sit and like wait. We checked in. We got there at a little after 12. Our check-in time was 1:30. We waited probably close to an hour in line. We showed our passports, did the whole thing. We went through security, we went through customs. We did everything. And then we thought we were gonna have a second to like sit and wait till our boarding group is called, and sure enough, we went right on the ship. So things escalated very fast, which is why I've not had a chance to update anyone yet. What else have we done? We've done a lot. We've toured the ship. We have gotten beverages, Espresso Martini, Andrew from South Africa at the bar, already our best friend. We've been on for 4 hours. We got our room.
So what type of stateroom did you guys have?
We had an ocean view deluxe room. So they have inside rooms, which is no window.
You can't see outside.
There is a magic porthole, which I did not know. So it's like a screen, essentially. Those are much smaller. And then the middle is like the ocean view, which is just a big porthole in the room. And then you have like your veranda rooms. And then you obviously like go into concierge and stuff. But in all essence, we really weren't in the room that much. So I feel like I've heard people say, if you're going to Alaska, you need a veranda room. I'm here to say that's false. Like, there's so many opportunities to just like walk outside, like, and see cool stuff all the time.
And so how many beds?
So 1 queen bed, and it technically it's at up to 5. We had 3 women in our room, and I could not imagine having a 4th person in that room. Like, it was good for us, like our group. However, putting another person in there would have been a little crazy. So there was the 1 queen bed, and then they had the couch, which folds out into a single, and then there was one in the ceiling that comes out. So if you wanted that unlocked, you just had to tell your stateroom host and they would unlock it for you. What I loved about the room, the bathroom was split. So one of the rooms was the shower sink, one was toilet sink. So like,
2 sinks.
So we had 2 sinks and like 2 areas to get ready, which was really nice. And the shower was a tub. Like,
nice.
That was really nice. And it was a pretty good sized shower.
I think that's probably a more Disney group thing for kids.
Yep, absolutely. That makes sense.
They want tubs.
But
for the babies. Yeah. Baths.
But it was great. Like, just having those 2 separate areas there with 3 girls, like, no one was on top of each other getting ready. Exactly. Yeah. So,
nice.
It was great. We did our muster drill.
Do they still full-blown muster?
Well, ours was a different muster. Well, not different, but our meeting spot was Animator's Palette. Oh. So we weren't outside on the decks or anything, which I thought was weird. But it was packed. Like, I think we were letter R, and it says on your key to the world card what zone you are.
Okay.
So it was like, you scan your key to the world card, and you're good. So they do a little, like, demonstration.
Like, the whole ship doesn't muster together anymore.
No, they do. But it's all in different, everyone's in different areas of the ship to muster.
Oh, interesting.
But they did, like, the whole thing where we were sitting at tables, like, waiting, and then they did, like, the videos all on the thing, which was nice because they don't have videos outside. But because the restaurant had screens, they were able to show videos. So I think the whole thing took maybe 20 minutes. It wasn't bad.
Okay.
But
so it's a little more efficient than it used to be.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because everybody had to go to, like, where your boat is.
Yeah.
Everybody had to put on their own life jacket.
Oh, no, we didn't do that.
No. It used to be like a whole process. And the reason I ask is my sister's a big cruiser, and she was like, yeah, they don't really do that anymore. They just like make sure you walk by and you know where it is, and then that's it. And I was like, I loved it. Was like an event. It was like
getting ready for the Titanic.
Yeah, it's like how you kicked off the cruise was like all the alarms would like go off, and you knew it was time to like go to your station, put your. So it's makes me kind of sad.
I remember on our
they don't do that anymore.
Our Royal Caribbean cruise we did a couple years ago. It was on the app. Like, literally, you just, like, read a thing and then you checked off. Because I remember, like, we're going to have to do this drill. And no. So, thank God nothing happened, but we would have not been prepared on Royal Caribbean. God, what else did we do? So the first day is the only day that you can go in and check out like the kids only area. So the Oceaneers Club, pretty much the kids only club. So if you have children and you come on the cruise, this is an option too if you want to have an adults evening. They have a nursery, they have something for like little ones, and then they have like a tween club. So different age brackets, but this is the first time you can actually go in and see them without having children. They were so cool. There's a Marvel area, Toy Story, Frozen. The nursery was Small World themed and it was precious. The kids club, the Oceaneers Club, was like Journey to the Center of the Earth themed, which was very, very cool. We sat in the French Quarter Club. My goal is to amend the goals I had this morning on my top 3 things I want to do. I want to try all the espresso martinis. I'm already at 2. Things are going pretty well, I'll say. We have the sail away party here in just a little bit, but I think we're just gonna continue to do some more exploring, see what else we eat into. We have dinner pretty much right after the sail away party, so we are just gonna kind of take in the sights and see what happens. So, Riley, I'm sorry I missed some check-ins, but it's only day 1. Everything's good. We'll see ya when we see ya. But yeah, that other espresso martini in the clip, that was the good one.
Oh,
that was like,
what made it so good?
So there are 2 types of people who like espresso martinis with cream and without, or like Baileys with or without Baileys.
Yeah,
I love just like a straight up
no cream,
no cream.
No Baileys.
I want to taste the coffee, and that's like in my real life with coffee too. Like I want to taste the coffee and like the bold strongness. I don't know my coffee notes, but that was like,
you like the bitter.
Yeah, and it was potent, and it was like, whoa. But it was like strong in coffee and alcohol, which I appreciate.
Get ready!
4, 3, 2,
Ready?
1.
Day 1 is wrapped up on the Disney Wonder. It is 10:20 p.m. We are all exhausted in this room. It's not even been a full day on the ship. However, it felt like multiple days. We went to the sail wave party. Previously, I was always under the impression that the ship actually sailed away at the sail wave party, but we had already been in motion for a little bit, like a couple hours probably. I was always under the impression when you do the sail wave party, you actually leave. We had already been at sea for a couple hours at that point. And I've heard it where people do the sail wave party and they don't leave. They're at port still. But
I just remember, like, as soon as that horn went off, you could, like, feel the boat.
No, we were in motion, but I did learn. And I said, like, in the middle of the cruise, I was like, I've barely heard the horn. And it's because they don't want to disturb the wildlife out in Alaska. So they do not play the horn as much as they
would on
like a normal one. Yeah.
Where the fish don't care.
Right, fish don't care. But the bears and the whales and the goats and the seals care, I guess. So
interesting.
Yeah. But it was really, really cute. The Fab Five were there. Really great. Hyped up the crowd, really good music. So that was really, really fun. We went straight from the sail wave party to our rotational dining for the night, which was tonight was Animator's Palette. We do have second dining, so our dining's at 8:15 p.m. and we are a party of 3. So we were actually sat with another family who were super, super lovely. So looking forward to spending more time with them for dinners on the trip. Food at Animator's Palette.
What a restaurant to start off at, though.
That is the Disney restaurant.
Yes.
Like, that is
the Disney cruise restaurant.
The theming, like, unreal. Like, absolutely just...
And from what I remember, it hasn't changed.
No, it's
from what I, have seen so far.
Yeah, and there's different iterations of it on each of the ships. So each of them are different, but there is an Animator's Palette, I think, on almost every ship. I got teriyaki glazed steak, and it had some wasabi mashed potatoes, bok choy, and carrots. The wasabi mashed potatoes were not my favorite. I'm a mashed potato purist, and I don't really need wasabi in my mashed potatoes. The steak itself was pretty good, though. It was a good cut of steak. Just wish everything was warmer. And then I had the potato and cheddar soup. That was really good. A little salty, but really good because it was kind of chilly out on the deck today. Dessert, I got a Mickey bar because you can get those at dinner, and you can also get them room service 24/7. So only problem with the Mickey bar on the dinner, they put them on warm plates. So literally
they do not.
Yeah, because that's just how I'm like, just bring it in the wrapper. I don't care. Like, I'm not above unwrapping an ice cream bar at a restaurant. It was a good way to end the meal. Wasn't too overly hungry for dessert, but it was a perfect way to end it. We are just going to hit the hay and then turn in early tonight, and then the rest of the week will probably be a lot more exciting. Tomorrow we have a day at sea, and tomorrow night we're at Tiana's for dinner, so I'm very, very excited for that. Riley, I'll see you tomorrow, day 2. Good morning. Day 2 on the Disney Wonder. We are at sea today, so we did wake up relatively early because we are on a Pacific Standard Time. So we were all up at about 6:30 this morning and got breakfast at Cabanas. We also got coffee from Cove Cafe, salted caramel coconut latte, which is like the DCL signature, and it was 5 out of 5 Damsel Delight. I'm not kidding. I think I had 12 of them my entire week.
I love that for you.
It was great. And then the guys knew us at the Cove Cafe. And then every time you get one, they give you a picture on it.
Was they different?
Every single time.
Every time it was a different character?
Yep.
Could you request?
I never requested. Part of it was fun. Like, to,
ooh, who am I going to get today?
Like, one day I got a Hulk fist. I was like, is this what I'm going to feel like after I drink this?
That vibe.
Yeah, no, it was...
or like, you know, your Disney...
I think Dory was on one of them. And
so Pixar and Marvel also represented.
Yep.
I'm pretty cool.
Had a little breakfast at Cabanas, which was a standard delight. I don't remember saying that.
Okay, so is that the buffet?
Yeah, the buffet.
Okay,
yep,
so that's
Cabanas.
the buffet. So what sort of
standard
Disney
oh my god,
affair?
Everything you could think of. Like standard, like your Mickey waffles, pancakes, eggs, sausage, bacon,
Do they also
etc.
have like British breakfast?
Yeah, so they had like beans. And they had miso soup, and they had
miso soup,
fried rice.
Breakfast?
Yeah, fried rice. And I'm so upset. I did not know they had pog juice until like day 6. I was
girl,
gutted.
You missed out.
Because I saw people with like little juice cups, and it was like that bright orange color, and I'm like, I bet that's just like different orange juice.
Where did your Disney brain go?
I don't know. Out of my head, yeah. And then literally I walked up to get something else at the drink stand, and I was like, passion fruit orange guava.
This whole time?
So I think I only had like one the entire time. Breakfast was great. Like,
so it was not a standard delight.
Right. I'm really sick this day, so I was not like seasick. So I like eating was not at the top of my to-do list. Okay. Like nothing sounded good. But as the days went on,
did you get sick throughout the night and you woke up not feeling well?
I woke up not feeling well. So I don't know if it was during the night, but it was like the seas were really rough, and even the family that we were sitting with at dinner said like, no, this is and they're like avid cruisers. Okay. So they even said like it was rough this day, and it was just like not a good food day, not a good belly day. I ended up having to buy the bands.
I have those.
Yeah. But I had patches, I had Dramamine, and nothing was touching it until I got those bands, and then I felt better.
Interesting.
And then we're just going to kind of explore the ship. This ocean is oceaning today. I'm feeling not the greatest, but I am powering through. We actually have a very cool tour at 9:30 this morning about kind of the art on the ship and a little bit of behind the scenes, so I'm very excited for that. So I'm going to take you along with me on that, and let's have a great day at sea.
And I'll tell you a bit about the history of Disney Cruise Line, and then we'll jump on into the tour. I like to imagine the design of the Disney Wonder as if you had the ship and you tilted it like this, and then you're working your way up to the surface of the water. So right now, we're at the very bottom of the ocean sea, so you're going to see a lot of nautical themed artwork. That's why. On the outside of our ships, a lot of times people think that it's just like a jet black. It's actually more of a navy blue. The official name of this...
Monica Blue.
Yes, it's Monica Blue. Now, who is Monica and why is she blue? Well, let me tell you. So, during the design of the Disney Wonder, we went back and forth of trying to figure out what our color palette was going to be for our ships. So we decided that just the regular color black was going to be a bit intimidating and not quite as welcoming. So what did we do? We were like, well, maybe a blue, maybe a nice navy blue. Well, that wasn't quite what we wanted either. The woman leading this meeting, she was like, where is this one gentleman? He was always very punctual, didn't show up to work. He ended up just being stuck in traffic. And he came into the meeting, said, I'm so sorry, got stuck in traffic. And Monica goes, that's the color we need for our ships. And it was a color that he had on his pants. It was the color of his jeans. And that woman's name was?
Monica.
Monica! The sorcerer hat that you see in Fantasia, yes. So you have the stars and the moon, or Fantasmic if you're referencing the parks.
recording live from the pool deck of the Disney Wonder. It is a few hours since our last check-in. Things have rather escalated. I've not felt the greatest today with the sea. Waters have been pretty rough today, so I've been kind of in and out of feeling like crap, so excuse my lack of updates here, but we have done some things. We did have breakfast at Cabanas. We went on a really cool tour, Art of the Themes tour. It was a 45-minute tour led by a cast member, and it pretty much broke down kind of some of the Easter eggs and like hidden gems of the theming and decor of the ship. She went into how the Magic and the Wonder are sister ships. Magic was first, Wonder came second a couple years later. It was kind of just breaking down like the why behind some of the design choices. So we talked a lot about how the Wonder is more Art Nouveau and then the Magic is more Art Deco. And she also shared with us a really cool fact. Ariel is the mascot, for lack of a better term, for the Wonder. Each level you go up, it's almost like you're starting from under the sea and going above water. So you get into like us on the shell, and then I think the fourth floor is a lily pad or a leaf that signifies you going up onto the surface. They were talking about how there's also like 110 carpet designs on the ship itself, which is insane. Some of the carpets are really intricate and detailed and very on theme, so it was really cool to hear some of those stories. So we did the tour. It was really informative. The tour guide, Savannah, she was great.
So how long was the tour?
It was only like 45 minutes.
Oh,
It was very...
that doesn't...
Yeah, but like we did a lot. Like she just like spewed
Literally
facts
for
like
45 minutes,
It went by
spewing at you.
it went by so fast. It was a great tour, and it was in the morning, and we were all like, what are we gonna do? Like we'd woken up so early, and then we saw that, we're like, let's do it, and we went in our little...
And did you have to like make a reservation? You just show up. You
Yep.
just show up.
It's in the app, in the Navigator app, which is like your best friend on the entire cruise. It'll literally day by day
all your
shows you
activities all day long.
and it shows you like where to meet.
Do they still give you papers, or is it all on the app?
All in the app.
Good.
Yep.
Save the turtles.
Yeah,
Save the trees.
So it was great though. Like the tour, I definitely recommend. Like if it's your first, it's my first Disney cruise.
Yeah.
I think it was just a cool way
What
to
was
see.
the coolest thing that you learned?
If you're walking towards the front of the ship, there'll be stars on the carpet.
Okay.
And to know you're walking towards the front, the stars are pointing, like you're walking to the point of the stars.
Okay.
So like things like that, like.
They thought about it.
And then we did some back-to-back rounds of trivia. We did Marvel trivia, and then we did Disney Tunes trivia, which was really cool. So the Marvel trivia was MCU, so it was mostly movie-based. I actually did a lot better than I thought. We got 13 out of 20. Not bad. One team did get 20 out of 20, so good job there. And then Disney Tunes trivia was really cool. So they have a piano player, and he was playing the songs live, and we had to guess the name and then where the song was from. So if it was a ride, if it was a movie, a show, whatever, Broadway show was one of the answers. So we did not win that one either, but I'm still on my quest to get one of those really cute medals because I really want one, and I'm manifesting this so hard. So my goal, I said I wanted to win trivia. And they had so much trivia on this cruise.
Oh,
like,
so does you get a medal every time?
if you win,
If you win.
if you have to win first place,
Sure.
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
But like every trivia
has a different
has
medal.
a different medal.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Do you just write down the answer, or are you
Yeah.
just yelling them out?
So they
Like,
give
how
you-
do they keep track?
They give you you go up to the little table and they give you a paper and then your little golf pencil and you write down, and then they say at the end whatever. Typically most of them had like 20 questions.
Okay.
Who got more than 10? Who got more than 11, 12, 13?
So it's
raising
kind of
their hand.
honor system.
It really is because they don't really check.
Interesting.
I will tell you, I did not know the culture of Disney Cruise Line trivia until this trip.
Okay.
People were literally with their medals, like you would think they ran a marathon, like a Disney marathon, and would go get their picture taken by like the the photo pass
Yes.
with all of their medals. They were crazy. I just
love
wanted
that.
one. So
We just wanted one.
we just
Okay.
wanted one. So
And we're going to find out if that happens.
right, we are. Really fun afternoon, and then we did some shopping. We did just kind of more general exploring of the ship, and now we are literally by the pool, bundled up in blankets. We just got some coffee, and we have our books, and we're just enjoying the sunshine. This has kind of helped get me back to normal, so we're just gonna hang out here, and it's literally like not even 2 o'clock. We got a lot of day left, so we'll see where the day takes us.
Do they heat the pools because it's an Alaskan cruise?
They do.
They do.
We only got in the jacuzzi. We did not try the pool. I put my foot in the pool, and it was really warm. So, but this was the adults only area. So,
Oh, okay.
that's the cushiony seats. It was a lot nicer. So, a lot
Than the
quieter.
regular pool deck. Yeah, for sure.
All right, we are doing a little update. So it is formal night. Formal night is optional on the ship. And also tonight is the Golden Mickeys. So throughout the 7-day cruise, there are 3 different Broadway style stage performances. This is night 2, or day 2 I should say, and then we have the Golden Mickeys. So not really seeing any spoilers, heard a little bit that is like a compilation show, so there are a ton of different characters that we'll see. Essentially it's an award show from what I understand, so I'm super excited to see it. I know kind of the entertainment level on cruise ships are very high, and I'm really excited to see what Disney brings to the table. So let's go ahead and get our seats and then see what we get into. Excited to bring you along. We just got out of the Golden Mickeys. It was essentially what I said before, like an award show with pretty much every Disney character you could think of. It was just about an hour long, so it was like the perfect time. Literally, I was speechless at some of the characters who showed up. I don't want to spoil too much because we can't actually, you're not able to film or record while you're in the theater. Obviously, typical, like if you see any sort of Broadway style show, that's typically how it goes. Quasimodo, Rapunzel, Flynn Rider, Woody, Jessie, Tiana, Naveen, Charlotte was there. Literally every Mickey, Minnie, Goofy. The host was incredible. It was a super fun show. I literally had no expectations going in. I had no idea what I was going to get out of it, but definitely 5 out of 5. Damsel Delight. The performers were top notch. Choreography, the costumes, everything was just really incredible. So excited to see the other shows throughout the rest of the week. This one's going to be hard to beat. We have Frozen, and then we have another one called Dreams, which is actually an Emerald Award winning show, which is like the Tonys but for cruise ship entertainment. So really going to be hard to beat this one. Really enjoyed ourselves. And then my stepmom and stepsister also really enjoyed it. When Quasimodo came on stage and sang Out There, I was shocked. Like my stepmom said, she looked over at me, my jaw was on the floor. That was really cool to see. They did a Lion King, Can You Feel the Love Tonight ensemble. They did the Woody and Jessie, You've Got a Friend in Me. Choreography was really cute. So much good stuff. Riley would absolutely be obsessed with this show. The talent, like I said, was just top notch. So 5 out of 5 Damsel Delight for the Golden Mickeys. And they got a little emotional at the end. So really great message about trying things, and just because you've never done something before doesn't mean you'll fail. So it was really a cute message as well. So really gonna be hard to beat the Golden Mickeys, but had a really good time. And now we are off to Tiana's for dinner.
Okay, well before we get into day 3, how was Tiana's?
Tiana's was great.
Yeah.
So again, we had Tiana's two nights out of the week-long cruise. And what's nice about that, the menus are different every night. Oh. So you may go to
but you get different food options.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the entire menu's different. They do have like a select favorites. So it's like grilled steak, grilled chicken, like basic things like that. You can get at any of the restaurants each night. But yeah, the food was good. I had what did I get? I got like a hot crab dip.
Oh, and that sounds incredible.
It was good. And then what did I have that night? I had a pork. I think I had the pork thing. That was pretty good too.
Tiana's was for you?
No, it wasn't gluten free.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah, bummer. But I think
put in isn't it rice?
It's probably like a gravy of some sort.
Oh.
Potentially.
Like flour to fill it up, make it thicker.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me mad for you.
But I do think Tiana's was my favorite food wise out of the 3. Easy. And obviously the vibes were great. Today's Glacier Day, so no excursions where we get off the ship. However, we are going to be we're on a boat. We float through the fjords to see a glacier, so come along.
Now give me the beat.
That's pretty cool. The ship is currently turning around, like doing a full 180. So before, the front of the ship was here, and now we are essentially like perpendicular or parallel to the glacier. So this gives everyone an opportunity on all sides of the ship to see everything. So, and it's really cool that this ginormous ship can just turn around like nothing. And on funnel vision too, they're actually showing, there's a camera at the front, so it's showing what is at the front of the ship. I think I've reached peak form Frankie, Espresso Martini, Alaska, Mickey Mouse. What more could you need? There were a couple excursions that you could book where you would take a smaller ship to get closer to the actual glacier. We did not do that. We stayed on the ship, and it was pretty freaking incredible. We saw seals, we saw mountain goats. So we didn't get off the ship. We did see a couple blowholes from some whales. Not sure the type of whales, but we did see a couple earlier. We also met Minnie, Mickey, and Daisy in their Alaska exclusive gear. Oh, we had churro Mickey waffles. That was the first time. Gluten-free, very good. I'd say like a 4 out of 5. Pretty much just stayed outside the entire day. We did a lot of trivia. We played general Disney trivia, level 1 and 2. Did not win either of those. We did Alaska trivia, which we did better than we thought. We got a passing score on that. Mouseketeer Madness, which was almost like a Family Feud-esque type game where you get a number and then they randomly call up a number and then you answer 5 like Disney related questions. We didn't get called, unfortunately, but every other number but ours got called. But that was still really fun. We did have dinner at Paulo. Paulo is a Disney Cruise Line exclusive restaurant. It is present on almost all of the ships in one version or another. Learned a lot of really cool facts about the restaurant. It is Italian inspired menu and decor. The name Paulo means pole in Italian. It was influenced by where all the ships were built, near Venice, Italy. The restaurant is full of poles, like different types of poles and different designs, so that was kind of cool. Food was really, really great. You can either do like a prefix $50 flat rate where you get appetizer, salad, entree, dessert, or you can order everything a la carte. I did the $50 like prefix. I got the steak, which was pretty good. I've definitely had better steaks, so I was kind of bummed about that. But my stepmom got the ossobuco, which is veal shank in risotto. That was the star. That was 5 out of 5 Damsel Delight. I know Sophia really enjoyed hers. What would you give your Paulo experience? 4 out of 5? Okay. She got the mac and cheese, she got some gnocchi, she got an arugula salad, which she didn't know she liked, a side of the asparagus. The asparagus was a 5 out of 5. You heard it here first. And then you got the gelato flight, which looked really good. Mango mint, double chocolate, and white chocolate espresso. And then I got a gluten-free chocolate souffle at the end of mine. Not as exciting as like the gluten full. It didn't have like the lava flowy appeal. Still really good flavor. Service was fantastic. Our server Paige was a damsel delight, super attentive, knew so much about the menu in and out. So really just a great experience, and it's a little bit higher quality than like the rotational dining, which we all appreciated, and a lot less overstimulating of a restaurant experience, which we also appreciated. It's been a busy day. We are tired. So tomorrow we're finally getting off the ship after 4 days. We will be in Skagway, Alaska. We do have an excursion booked on the White Passage Railway, which is the train that goes into the mountains, and then we'll see what else we get into in Skagway, but we will see you tomorrow. Another booked and busy day. I will say that was my favorite day.
Oh yeah?
Easily. Like the best day. Like just being outside all day and seeing all the cool stuff, and then the big old glacier, and like that glacier, really, that video does not do it justice how ginormous that thing was. And just like I never thought I would see a glacier in my lifetime, you know? So seeing,
because they're melting.
Yeah. So who knows how much longer we got with them. So it was really like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like makes you appreciate nature a lot, and just like the crystal blue water. And then we went Minnie and Mickey, and we were literally just outside. Is that the only
day they're in their gear?
They're in their gear all week. You can meet them like in the ship. However, outside, like with the views in the back, that is the only day. I will tell you that I've watched
a long line.
I watched so many things. I'm like, what time do I have to get in line? What time? Everyone that I've watched said 8 I think Mickey starts at 9 a.m. So people are like 8:15. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to
say less.
I'm going to do it. So by the time we'd gotten down there, it was probably like 8:20, 8:30, just because we had breakfast and stuff. The line was crazy. We're very grateful for the family that we sat with dinner. We ran into them, and they held we went up with them, so we were a lot closer. But
so 8 a.m.
I would say, and they had gotten in line at 7:45. They said, and they still. I mean, they were closer than we were, but they were. I wouldn't expect them
to. But you were like 45 minutes behind them,
right? And I didn't get to meet everyone, which I was kind of bummed about, like Goofy, Pluto, Donald, and the schedule.
You don't get to like go down everybody has their own line?
Everyone has their own line. They all start at different times.
You met Daisy, Minnie, and Mickey?
Yeah. So I'm a 3 out of 5.
But who has the cutest outfit?
Minnie. I mean, but Mickey also in his little wellies.
Yeah.
They're all cute. Would definitely
interesting.
Get there earlier.
7:30.
And definitely.
You heard it from Frankie.
I did not get to meet Coda the bear, which I was very upset about.
You didn't get to meet Smallish Bear? Smallish Bear, eh?
Smallish Bear?
Oh my god.
He's not on the app. Everyone said he's not on the app. You just gotta be outside. I was outside all day. All day I was outside.
Wrong side.
And I didn't even hear a peep about anyone talking about this bear.
Maybe he didn't.
But then I saw people who were on my sailing and they had met him. So I don't know. So I was pretty bummed about that. But that's okay. Good morning from the Disney Wonder. Day 4. We have a port day today. We're in Skagway, Alaska. We do have an excursion booked. It is the White Pass Railway and Yukon Railroad, but it's essentially a train ride that goes up into the mountains of Skagway. And I think we actually dip into British Columbia, so we do go across the border. It is about a 3-hour excursion. We did book this through Disney. Everything I've done research on for this trip has been you must do this train. So we said, okay. So it'll be nice. We take the train. It is a round trip excursion. I think it goes about 20 miles. So there are other options for this where they're longer or shorter. There's also ones where it's just a one-way, which I honestly thought I booked at first, but we do have the round trip, which is really nice. So I'm super excited and just kind of excited to see more of what Alaska has to offer, because low-key, it's been pretty freaking cool. So we're about to go get checked in. We're at the Walt Disney Theater on the 4th floor, the forward of the ship. So essentially they kind of corral everyone. If you have an excursion booked at a certain time, they'll give you a little character sticker of what your group's character will be, so you know to follow that person to get to where you need to be correctly, and you know you're with the right people. So we're about to go get checked in and see what we get to in Skagway. We'll see you there.
Good guess. 436 minutes. Very close. 480 minutes or 345 minutes. Now, I can confirm one of you is only out by 4 minutes. So,
what was the question?
So this was Pixar trivia.
Okay.
This was the tiebreaker.
Okay.
So all 4 of us were in first place.
Okay.
And
what was the question, though?
Yep. It was, in minutes, what is the runtime of all 4 Toy Story movies?
the total runtime of Toy Story films combined is 379 minutes, which means you are a winner. Yes! Thank you, Sasha. You're welcome. But give all your runners up a round of applause also.
I'm slaying this cruise.
Yes, you are. That's so exciting.
I also won't tell anyone that it was a multiple choice trivia.
The whole thing?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, well,
it's fine. Nobody knows.
So that was like the tiebreaker, so it was not multiple choice.
Correct.
You had to write down an answer. Okay, okay.
Yep. But
whatever, you still won. Who cares?
Yeah. Day 5 on the Disney Wonder. Me and Walt here are about to go check in for our excursion that we have booked for today. We're in Juneau, Alaska. We are doing the Mendenhall Glacier viewing and whale watching excursion today. This is pretty much going to take us out off the ship all day. It's about 6 hours in total. Based on the description of the excursion, we'll either go to the glacier first or we'll go whale watching first. Whale watching obviously will go on a boat, but the glacier we'll actually get to walk to on foot, which will be really cool to be a little bit closer to it. We're about to go get checked in and I'm excited to take you along. Let's go. We have seen a ton of orcas literally within the first 5 minutes of being on the boat, like a huge pod and a baby. We saw them a few times. We've seen humpback whales and we've seen a sea lion. It was crazy. We're not even done yet. It's pretty freaking cool. And they had said when we initially took off, they said, we're out here looking for humpback whales today. They never said anything about orcas.
Interesting.
And I was like, oh man, I was like, it'd be really cool to see an orca. And I'm not kidding. You know, when you're in like the no wake zone and you're like going really slow and then you start taking off. I'm not kidding. As soon as we left the no wake zone,
there
they popped up on the side. And Carrie will tell you better than I can. 'Cause we were inside, she was outside, and I was on the opposite side of the boat. And everyone, like, you hear people before you actually see. They're like, oh my God, look, look, look. People get so excited. Everyone's like, look out the side. And I look and I saw like the dorsal fins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut the front door. I ran. Sophia was in front of me. I knocked her over.
Get out of my way.
She was going so slow. I'm like, get out of the way.
Yeah, because
you don't know if you're
you
gonna see
don't
them.
know. Especially, I mean, dolphins are obviously significantly smaller, but like you can see one little dolphin, and then that's it. That was your one shot, and if you happen to be blinking, and it's like you just don't know because they do what they want.
Yep.
And orcas are sassy and beating their boats and stuff. So you just never know.
That's right. So I was like, I'm not missing this. This is what I
get out of my way, sister.
Yeah. So Carrie's like, I just saw you. I looked over and I saw you clotheslined her. I'm like, she deserved it.
I love that. Because we would.
Get out of the way. And yes, it did rain. But honestly, didn't take away from, I didn't care. You know? Checking in again because I realized I did not do a recap of Frozen, the musical spectacular on the ship. So on this ship, there's been 3 Broadway-style shows that are in rotation on the Wonder. On the first night, we had the Golden Mickeys, which is like an award show, like compilation-style show. We had Frozen, the musical spectacular, based on the movie Frozen, obviously. And then we have Disney Dreams for the last show. So Frozen, if you've seen the Broadway iteration of that, it is essentially kind of a shortened, condensed version of that. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. Told the story in a very condensed way, but it didn't really feel like I was missing anything. Like the beginning of the movie when Anna and Elsa are younger and they're singing, do you want to build a snowman? They actually use puppets for those characters, like the younger Anna and Elsa, which was really cool. Sven and Kristoff in the beginning were little puppets, which was really, really cute. Olaf, Sven are puppets. So that part was definitely pretty similar, but it didn't have any the original new songs. They were all obviously from the movie, but the talent in that show was incredible. Anna specifically was perfection. She was incredible. Her mannerisms, her voice. So definitely a great show. Honestly, super impressed with the caliber of talent and quality of entertainment on the ship. I didn't really know what to expect. They've all been spectacular. So Frozen, definitely you need to see that if you are a Frozen fan. It's definitely a must see. So the thing that you saw, they give you this, it almost looks like a kid's menu, and there's a outline of a person and you can draw in it, and then you give it to your server. You can draw whatever you want. Okay. And then there's a video and it shows everyone shows up on the screen. Yeah, so you look, and then at the end they roll credits and you sign your name on it, and then your name shows up on the TV. That is so cute. Yeah. Okay, doing a little cheating because last night was not feeling great and did not film a recap. So Yesterday we did our whale excursion. It was half whale excursion, half Mendenhall Glacier viewing. Got off the ship, met our group, and took a bus to, it was almost like the national park for the glacier. So there were 3 different trails you could take, and our tour guide Bo, who was amazing, he pretty much gave this one is the 45-minute round trip. So depending on your pace, gave us the time we needed to come back. We did take the longer one, so that took us on a really cool view of Nugget Falls as well. And then we saw the visitor center. Absolutely incredible. They were saying how 50 years ago that glacier was pretty much face to face with the Welcome Center, and now it's like a mile off away from that. It was still really cool to see a live glacier. I did not think that's something I would see in my lifetime. We went on a whale watch after that. So once we were wrapped up at the glacier, we took that same bus to the whale watching place, got on a little boat. At first they were like, our goal today is to see some humpback whales. And I was like, man, because if you remember from the beginning, I said I really want to see orcas. That's like one of my top things I want to see. So I was like, oh man, that's kind of a bummer. I'm not kidding. We pulled off, got out of the wake zone, and there was a pod of orcas right there. And we weren't even looking for them. They were right on the side of our boat, which was insane. It was super cool to see. There was a baby. There were probably, I think we counted like 8 that we saw, like right off the bat. We did see humpback whales as well. The way they identify them is the markings on their tail, so the underneath part of their tail. And they were saying how there's this whale named kelp who is very notorious for like being difficult to track, and he kind of does like a zigzag pattern when he swims. And we saw him, and sure enough, he was a little stinker, that kelp. But then they told us about this really cool website. But essentially, if you get a really good picture of a whale's tail markings, you upload it to that site. After a certain amount of hours, they'll like respond back to you with like, this is the whale's name, and the whales like migrating patterns and all that stuff. So it was really cool. My stepmom already looked into it. Super, super neat to see that. And you can also see how many times the photo was submitted as well. We saw so many whales. The tour guides were like, we maybe see orcas 1 in every 10 tours. So I was like, that's why you manifest things, guys, because I've been saying that from the beginning, that I will see an orca on this trip. We did. We saw a ton of them, and it was so cool. We did see a sea lion as well. We also saw bald eagles on the way, like wild bald eagles, like a ton of them on the way to the glacier. Very, very cool day. It was so much fun. The boat ride was just over 3 hours. Cannot recommend that excursion enough. But once we got back from the ship from our excursions, we were gone pretty much the entire day. We didn't get a lot of time in Skagway to actually explore, which is kind of a bummer, but the orcas and everything else made up for it. And then we went to 2000s music trivia, which was a lot of fun. In the Crown and Fin pub, you had to name the artist and the name of the song. There were 20 questions, so 40 points available total. I got 38. There were like 6 teams that got 40, so we did not win, but it was really, really fun, and really, I was impressed with myself that I knew that many of them. We came to dinner at Animator's Palette for our second round at that restaurant for rotational dining. Last night was cool because it was like the animation show, so they give you like a sheet of paper, and you can draw a little like character guy, and then it plays in a cute little show at the end of the dinner. So that was really fun. Food was very average. After dinner, we were exhausted from all the outdoors activity, and we went to bed. And that was it. We will see you tomorrow on our day in Ketchacan. We are on day 6. Today we're in Ketchacan. Today is our last port day. We do not have anything booked excursion-wise. However, we are going to get off the ship and explore the city a little bit. The ship is pretty much parked right at the heart of downtown, so we can already see some things right off the ship. Really want to get some crab legs today. That is a goal of mine. Super excited to see what Ketchacan has to offer and take you guys along. That was the biggest crab leg I've ever seen. I'm not kidding. It was the length of my arm.
Wow.
Yeah. They were telling us that place, we went to Ketchacan Crab and Go. That place, and then the place in Juneau, it's called Tracy's King Crab Shack, which is like quintessential Juneau from what I've gathered in my research. And that those 2 restaurants are the only place that serve red king crab, whatever that means. It was served cold though, which I didn't love. I would have preferred it warm.
A lot.
but it was a lot of meat. It was,
I love that.
yeah. And I'm like, still, I've not been able to think about crab legs since, but now we go to Mardi Gras, Tiana's place.
Laissez les bon temps rouler.
We are day 7. We have a sea day today. It's our last full day on the ship. And then we're just going to kind of hang out for the day and see where the day takes us. Probably going to be a very, very laid back day. We got the text last night saying that there was room for us at Paulo for brunch, so we're very excited for that. Today we've done dinner, so now we can see kind of the differences between brunch and dinner. So very excited for that. We do have Disney Dreams tonight, which is one of the Broadway style shows. That's at 6 o'clock tonight, so that'll be our last big activity before dinner at Triton's tonight to wrap up our evening. So come along, show you what we get into today. One of our first days here, we went to Paulo, like in person, and we said, hey, is there any room for brunch? And they said no, but we can take down your stateroom number, info, things like that. And I was like, this is probably not going to go anywhere. There's going to be no way. And then I got a notification, like push notification through the Disney, through the Navigator app. So that was really a surprise and delight. So we ended up we're able to have that as our kind of our final hurrah on the cruise. And brunch, now that I've had brunch and dinner, hands down brunch is the way to go. The food at dinner was obviously really, really good. However, I think the best bang for your buck is going to be brunch. It isn't all you care to enjoy, but like higher quality food. It's not a buffet. It's all on a menu, but there's tons and tons of options, and you can literally get as much as your heart desires, and it's $50 a person. 50. It's honestly, someone should tell them that they could probably be charging more, because the food is, you hear all you can eat, all you care to enjoy, and you think, this is not going to be good. No, it was spectacular. 5 out of 5 Damsel Delight. I know if Riley and Jimmy are huge brunch people, and this would be so up their alley. And I forgot to even tell you, I feel like I'm talking really fast. I'm so sorry. I'm very passionate about Paulo all of a sudden. It comes with a complimentary Bellini mimosa or a non-alcoholic option. So I got Prosecco. My stepmom got a mimosa, and then my stepsister, she's underage, so she got the non-alcoholic version. But all of that for $50, and the food was 5 out of 5 Damsel Delight. And even my stepmom said, I asked her, it was dinner versus brunch, like who's the winner? And she agreed that brunch is the way to go for sure. And even the family that we have had dinner with, who we've grown really close to this week, they've said the same sentiment. So brunch is definitely the way to go. Really good deal, bang for your buck. And the food is top notch too. So all in all, if you are coming on a Disney cruise, Paulo is in one iteration or another on every ship. It is an extra reservation. It is not included in the price of your cruise. It is a separate cost. It's a very pleasant dining experience, and they take their time between courses as well. This was the case for brunch and dinner. That was our Paulo brunch day. It was fabulous. 5 out of 5 Damsel Delight. You love to hear it. He is like a Hollywood magician. So like,
okay.
He's like, he works for Marvel.
He's famous
to do magic. So Gambit,
yes,
his hands. That's when Channing Tatum's doing the card tricks. It's actually this guy's hands.
Oh, very cool.
And then he taught us a trick with a rubber band too. So it was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Recap of Disney Dream. This was the 3rd Broadway style show that we saw. This was on our very last night. So every night they do, of all the different shows, so Frozen, Golden Mickey's, and Disney Dream, they do 2 showings a night. Wasn't my favorite, to be very blunt. It was about a little girl, Anne-Marie, who wanted to fly, and she was having trouble like believing in herself and wanting to make her dream come true. Peter Pan was there. He like climbed into her bedroom window. The saving factors for me, there was a really great Tangled moment, like Tangled montage. So they did When Will My Life Begin, and then they also did I've Got a Dream with the Ruffians and the Snuggly Duckling, and then they did a really cool Lion King piece as well. So those were like the saving graces for me. Wasn't my favorite show, but still like the quality was there of the performers and the sets and the costumes and stuff like that. So definitely still check it out if you are on the ship. We are at Triton's for dinner tonight for our final set in rotational dining. That is our final night.
Princess Tiana. We got Princess Cinderella. Now's the time to say goodbye to all our company. Oh gosh. M.I.C. See ya real soon. K.Y. Why? Because we love you.
It was so...
What do they call that? Like the goodnight kiss?
Farewell party.
Okay.
Yeah. They brought all those characters down.
Yep.
So them singing was like the very last thing they did with the confetti. When everyone came down the stairs, the announcer literally said, okay, we're going to give you 15 minutes and everyone can go meet their favorite characters. And it was like Black Friday in 2000. Like, it was like people everywhere. I'm like,
That's intimidating.
Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just do that at the very end instead of like, come back in 15 minutes to the same spot and then we'll say goodbye? It's like they called it character palooza or something. But like, I was like, I was overstimulated. I was like, I gotta stand somewhere else for a second.
All right, so obviously some time has passed. I'm now off the ship. It's a few days later. My outro that I filmed on the ship never recorded, so here we are. Just gonna close out this video. I am so excited to talk to Riley about my trip, answer any questions, and just kind of share my excitement about my trip. Just as a quick recap, so the last day, it was just debarkation, so we had the second breakfast, so I'm pretty sure they do it by your dinner time that we had, so since we had the 8:15 dinner, we had the 8:30 a.m. breakfast. So actually, I feel like that kind of worked out better. Definitely recommend putting your luggage out by 10:30 p.m. prior to your debarkation day. So it was really nice. We could go right to your regularly assigned dinner table. Ours was table 10, and we were assigned to Triton's. So just check the app to see when your last day breakfast will be. So it worked out really nice because we could have a place to sit and just kind of relax before getting off the ship. Before our group was called, we were Daisy Red. She had a little red bow. So you just have to essentially wait until your group is called, and then you can get off the ship. So by the time we had eaten breakfast, we had got our group called. They do scan your key to the world card on the way out to make sure that you are essentially checking off the ship, quote unquote. Definitely cannot recommend a Disney cruise enough. Mind you, it's my first one. I'm already looking at going on another one. I want to do something warm this time. I want to do a little Castaway Key Lookout Point action maybe next year. So definitely we'll be looking into that. Hopefully Jimmy and Riley will join me on that. But can't wait to talk about everything else with you guys. Happy to be home, but I do miss Alaska, and I do miss the whales, and I do miss my unlimited Mickey bars and my salted caramel coconut lattes. Other than that, Riley, see you in the studio.
And we're back and we're together.
Felt like that was a lot. We did a lot.
You did? You had a whole week on a boat.
It was a whole week on a freaking boat. It was crazy.
That was crazy. Like an Alaskan cruise that's my cruise bucket list thing. We go to the Caribbean a lot, and Jimmy and I go to the Caribbean a lot. So if we're gonna I was like, I want to do something completely different than looking at beautiful teal waters and palm trees.
But there was beautiful teal water there too.
Yes, but it's like a different.
Yeah, it's like crystal
temperature
clear. Yeah,
is like different. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I love. It's on my list.
Yeah, and I obviously like a Disney cruise would be great to do that, but just Alaska in general, it's like one of those things in life. You're like, am I like Alaska would be cool. Like,
It'd be so
you
cool.
know?
It's like Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of the coolest on the opposite ends, you know?
Yep. And every time people ask me, like, how was your trip? And I'm like, I don't even know where to start.
Incredible.
Like, incredible, first of all. And I like to say it was the perfect combination of relaxing, of adventure, of new experiences, of, like, I got good sleep. Like, I feel like I never get good sleep anytime I travel. Good food. Like, it was just
right now.
a combination of it all. And I
The
like
perfect vacation.
literally the perfect vacation. They do have like this itinerary, and then there is a different one. Like Sitka is one of them. Icy Strait Point is another one. So I think just depending on which one you pick.
Yeah.
And for us, it was just cost. Like we picked May because it was the cheapest. But honestly, people were like, oh, don't go in May. It's too early in the season. It rains a lot. I was like, I thought it was perfect. So
don't go to Florida in the summer. It rains a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that for anything, but there was like the family we were with, one of their excursions got canceled because of weather. And they said like that was like common. That excursion doesn't happen more than it actually happens. So keep things like that in mind, but they got to do something else. So it's still in Alaska. People ask like, oh, how would you compare it to other cruise lines? And I've obviously only done one, like Disney, like blew them out of the water. Like not even close. Like food quality, service wise, just the cleanliness of the ship. Definitely, but it all goes down to like what you're looking to get out of your vacation and all that. But I'm hooked. I think another big thing for me, obviously, like being gluten-free and like the allergy thing.
Yeah.
Our servers, I gave them a glowing review on their survey. That's really important to them, and I think helps with their pay and stuff like that. And every night, they didn't have to ask. He brought me gluten-free bread. The night before, I would order my meals for the next day, so they knew that they would have something for me. Cool. I could order my breakfast at the buffet the night before. So like the churro Mickey waffles, I did an order for that and no issues. I walked up, hey, I got an order for Frankie, and they brought him right out.
That was great. I loved it.
It was crazy just how much stuff they had for you to do. Like if you are bored, you have a problem. Like I think the Wonder was a great introductory ship to Disney. It's one of the smaller ships. I think it's like 2,700 passenger capacity. Vegas are like 4,000 from what we looked up.
Okay.
I felt like it was a good amount of time to like be able to see, obviously, majority of things. We didn't do the spa or the gym or anything like that, but I loved it.
It looked great.
I want to go back. Have you been on a Disney cruise? What is your favorite Disney cruise ship? But let us know in the comments below.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching and following Frankie's amazing adventure. Check out the link in the description down below for more vlogs from your favorite theme park damsels. And as always,
like and subscribe for more.